ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Namaste. Window and mirror. I think all of you must be very familiar about this window and mirror. Now, we always used to feel there are people who are able to remember and recall whenever they want. We always used to admire. Isn't it? There are some people who are able to, remember and recall whenever they want it. So we always admire. But there is a technique. There is a way of doing it. So this is what we are going to share it today. So when you say the window and mirror, so you are able to experience, and I also told you last class, saying the difference between the qualification and the education. The window is a qualification and a mirror is the education that comes from within, educo. So now the question is, I would like to tell you how to remember. Now this slide is very simple and you can understand very clearly. So one is, one we got tremendous amount of data. When I say data, people who are very computer savvy, they always say the data, and even in the quality education also, we talk about only the data and the facts. One is, you got so many data, you got so much of information, isn't it? What do you do with that? For some of them, it is not useful for me. Some of them, they are not useful, isn't it? So you have to understand, from the data, you have got to stratify what is required, what is not required. That means from the data, you take some kind of information which is meaningful for me. For me, it is meaningful, not for others. For me, it is very meaningful. See, from the data, you get the information. Now, from the information, you don't need all of them. Again, you have got to have a kind of a stratification. So what is that exactly I want? That means organized information. Meaning, initially it is a meaningful data. From there, you have to cull down to the organized information, that is the knowledge. Then I got the knowledge. So what? Even the book has got the knowledge. The Google also got the knowledge. The application with the right attitude, you must convert it as a wisdom. There is a applied knowledge. There is the kind of a attitude by which you are able to convert the knowledge into the wisdom. So there is what I call the wisdom. See, the ultimate is a question of when I say, the clarity of the perception. Ultimately, what exactly you want. So when you say enlightenment, don't bother too much about that word. I am always be happy. That's what you call the enlightenment. Now, coming back to the same thing also. From the data, then I am only stratifying the information. From there, I am stratifying to the knowledge. From the knowledge, I use my attitude to make it as a wisdom, the right attitude, that's more important. The right attitude must be converted as a wisdom, and then I'll always be happy. Now, it's only a theory. I know it, but I'm not able to practice it. Then what can I do on this? This is what they say, our scriptures. They always say, three things. One is, question of, the adhyayanam. That means you are able to keep on memorizing. See, this is our old practice. That means you are able to receive the lot of information and also be able to memorize. Then there is no point in only having the receiving the information and you are able to memorizing, but you have got to retain. How can you really retain? One is the kind of a adhyayanam. The other thing is a mimamsa. That means you are able to reflect, to find out what exactly I need. That's more important. See, there are so many information I am getting, but I don't need all of them. But I need something which is absolutely good for me, which is going to be useful for me. That means I received the information and I'm not going to retain all the information. What is more important for me, I am going to retain. This is second R. Okay, you are able to retain. That means from the memorizing, you are trying to familiarize. You keep on, recalling. You keep on, thinking about the same thing like a Shruti. Okay, that's fine. Then the next one is, recalling when you want. This is the most difficult thing to recall. And when you become old, it becomes more problem. The question is, okay, I received the knowledge, I got the information, from the data I converted into wisdom. Now, what is that? How I can really practice this particular one? This is the 3R. I receive, that's not enough. I must retain, not enough. Recall whenever I want. So it is not very difficult. There is a technique. So how can I do that? Now, whatever I am interested, that means I will always try to keep it. I will always try to retain. So the question is how you are going to have this technique so that you will be able to do whatever you want at the right time. Okay, let me give my own example. Maybe at the age of 9 or 8, I was quite impressed about one particular statement by Bharatiyar in Tamil. He's a great man. I used to admire him. He says, Manadil Urudi Vendum, Vakinile Inime Vendum, Ninaivu Nalladu Vendum, Niringi Purul Kaipada Vendum. Just imagine at the age of 9, it's really, I was quite completely, obsessed. What a beautiful, statement. One is, Manadil Urudi Vendum. I was say, I must have a very strong mind, like a diamond. I must have a strong mind. Then Manadil Urudi Vendum, Vakinile Inime Vendum. Whatever I am just talking to you or talking to people, that means there's a lot of, the pleasantness, the sweetness must always be there. Manadil Urudi Vendum, Vakinile Inime Vendum, Ninaivu Nalladu Vendum. Not only that, I must have noble thought. That means, yes, I am going to really do certain things, not only for me, to the entire world. Then whatever that I want, I must get it. See, at the age of 9, it just attracted me. I was quite, completely, obsessed. And I didn't know much about that, but meaning also. But the only thing I know about that, I must have a strong mind. But I could not understand what is the meaning of Niringiya Purul Kaipada Vendum. That means I must have a strong mind, I must have the pleasantness in the speech, and also I must have a noble thought, and I must have I must get whatever I want. Now, at the age of 9, I could not really understand the full meaning of the particular statement. Now, some other, I keep on, repeating the same thing. It came from my own mind. That means I received, and I kept on, retaining by repeating. And every day I get up in the morning, this is what exactly I used to do it also. And whenever I got a problem, I always say, oh, manadil viruthi vendum. That means I must have a strong mind. Similarly, whenever there is a kind of, when I'm talking to some people, then I become a little rude. Then immediately there is a bell saying that, hey, come on, you are supposed to speak in a very pleasantness. So that means you are able to recall. The mind keeps on telling you, okay, you promise yourself, but you are only not able to follow him. So this is what I call you have to receive the knowledge, you retain the knowledge and recall whenever you want. It is not only for giving a lecture. No, it is also required for the sharing it with others. But when there is a problem, when there is a situation where it demands, that means you are able to recall immediately and you are able to police yourself. See, this is the greatest advantage of this particular one. And I want everyone to think only one thing. See, okay, now all of you know your date of birth. All of you know. Right? Now the question, you have to identify a kind of your own principle in life. What exactly I want. Initially, we have to keep on repeating yourself, not memorizing. So we always say, see, unless otherwise you are able to memorize, you will not be able to reflect. So this is my philosophy. So that is our culture. Initially we used to memorize, then familiarize, and then internalize. If you want to internalize, there is no other way of keep on, repeating or memorizing. It's like a shruti. See, for example, a music person, it is absolutely important for him to maintain the shruti. See, he goes with a different, pitch, different, basic ragas and other thing, and so many variation. But the shruti is the same. It cannot change. It is a changeless shruti. Similarly here, you have to understand, this is exactly I want. So that means I am able to receive. See, a lot of youngsters, they are not able to recall when they want it. See, the most important on this particular one, the technique is very simple. But you must have a lot of conviction. Yes, this is exactly I want. Right? I must do it. Not only for sharing it with others, not giving a lecture, but whenever I am interacting with the people, then there must be a red bulb in my head saying that, oh, this is what promised, this is what exactly I promise, but I am not able to do it. So this is the purpose of this particular one. That means you say 3 are too easy to understand. I receive the information, I convert it into the knowledge, I convert it into the wisdom, then it becomes a part of my second nature. Myself and my philosophy is inseparable. So once you are able to understand this particular one, that means, yes, I am able to live, not only recall, I am able to live. Automatically, your recalling is become very easy. So I want to just repeat once again, saying that I receive, stratify, make it as a kind of a knowledge. I have a right attitude and convert it as a wisdom. And then once it becomes the wisdom for me, that's more important. The value is a value for me and the value is valuable to me. That makes all the difference. That means it's easy to retain. Why? It is in your subconscious. And it's easy to recall. Why? Because you are in a subconscious. See, this is the technique. I am sure that all of you will try to do it so that whatever that you want in your life, you will be able to live the way in which you want to do it, not for somebody else. And when you talk about live the way in which you live in, the righteous way, I am sure you will be able to understand this, reflect, and then you will be able to live it up. It is all it's not a theory. For example, now I want to do certain things. I am quite obsessed. I am very passionate. So what? But I must put a kind of a commitment to myself. Yes, come what may. Not because of the favorable situation, but in spite of all the unfavorable situation, I shall do it. So this is the commitment to myself. I am sure you will be able to reflect, understand, think, and be able to do it also. And wishing you all the best. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.